This is the Maida Initiative, conversation without compromise.
That's been there for a while then. So I'm curious, did coming to understand that God himself is a father, and furthermore your father, is that something that impacted the way you viewed your relationship with your own children?
Yeah, when we had our two children, we were still Muslims, and even at that time we were keeping our vow, because my wife saying she came from a troubled family, broken family. So we promised to each other, that we will treat our children better way than we've been through. So yeah, when we were raising our children, it was natural to us just that, not beat them or hit them or, raise voice to them, just to treat them in better way that we've been treated. So that came in a natural way, as we were in Sweden that time, and Swedish government have a very, wonderful law which protects children. So you cannot hit the children, or you cannot, do bad things to children. And even if they see you mistreat your children or maltreat your children, they will take them away from you. So people were very careful how they treat them, how they raise their children, how they, treat their children. So as a Muslim, in some part of our time raising our children, some part was when we were still Muslim, and some part when we became follower of Christ. So it was very different. But the best way was when we became follower of Christ and raised them up, because at that time they were 8 and 9 when we both became follower of Christ. But before that, they were children and they were very young, and we were doing what we wanted to do with them. But when they were around 8, 9, so we have to compromise each other, because they know something and now they want something, and so. So, but the best way, raising children in Christianity way, it was very profound, because of, as you mentioned, father figure in Christianity is very, very wonderful. And when I became follower of Christ, first of all, it was very, very hard to me to call God Father, because I raised up as, God cannot have son, you cannot call him father, that it was a blasphemy. So I was very, very, it was hard to me to call father to God. But at one point, when I was still praying, I came to a verse, I think it's in Romans chapter 8, when the spirit which has been given to us, testifies that we have the spirit of sonship that cries out, Abba. So that, give me, this is the right thing. And then I started, crying out Abba to him. And every time I start now praying, I pray our Heavenly Father as Jesus taught us. So that build up, the fatherhood of our Heavenly Father, and my father. I'm a father to my children. Not only that, at one point when I was praying, I felt, I was missing father love, earthly father love. I was missing that. And now coming to Christianity, and I have to call Father, our Heavenly Father. I didn't know anything about the fatherhood there, because I didn't raise by my father. So I was struggling by that. But, one moment I felt, God himself saying, Shino, you missed the love of your father, but now I'm giving you double portion of his love and my love together. So he put his love into me, that I will love my children as he loves me. So that's the best way I understood the fatherhood of our Heavenly Father, and my role of as a father as well. So I began, treating my children in a better way, that they will know even, Father as a better Father in heaven. So, yeah.
And I think everything you're saying is really, really important, because I think in England and in America right now, there is an epidemic of fatherlessness.
Yeah.
You have either absent fathers or men who don't know how to be fathers.
Yeah.
and it's devastating for children, and it has different effects on men. So what do you think the biggest consequence for a young man is not knowing the love of an earthly father?
Yes, it is very hard. It is very hard, and I cannot imagine, and I cannot, talk through that because my father was absent, and it's very hard and difficult. At one point, I remember when I was young, I think 8, 9 year old, and I was in elementary school. Every child was taken by mother or father, and when I was coming out from the gate, I stood out and looked everywhere, and I couldn't see anyone coming to me or collecting me. So I was feeling sad, and I was feeling lonely, and it was the hardest time. I was just going through, where's my dad? He was alive, but he left the country to another country to marry another woman. So my auntie was an older auntie, and she used to go to the market and selling fruit or something like that. So I was growing with her, but my most of the time I was by myself, and I used to spend my time forgetting all that by occupying myself with playing football or all kind of sports, to not remember what I was missing, like a father or a mother. But still, your heart longs for your father or your mother, especially their love. And when you see a father comes, to his child and collects him and holding hand in hand, and by yourself just there and no one comes to you. The feeling was very bad. But I think God is still with us, and I survived that time, and I became a sports person. I used to play football a lot and basketball and gymnastics to just waste to kill the time. And when I grew up, I was playing football in high divisions, and God was with me, but I didn't know the right God. But still, I can feel now, and I can sense that He was with me there, and He is a father for the fatherless. Although my father was alive that time, but later on he came to Mogadishu and he died. He was sick and died. But I did not felt anything because I didn't grow with him. So it was just a random person who died like that way. But he was my father. But that's the way I felt.